Everything I thought I knew about pie crust has just gone out the window. In this video, I am showing you the best pie crust hack I've ever tried. It's easy, reliable, and saves you time in the kitchen. I'm going to walk you through how to make the mix and roll it out and blind bake it so it comes out golden and crispy, perfect for a rich and silky chocolate cream pie. If you love learning simple kitchen hacks and tricks like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a fellow pie lover. You can take any of your recipes for pie crust that you think and just times it by 5. I'm just going to take a recipe out of the Farm Journal cookbook and times that by 5. And it's a pastry for 10-inch pie shell for 2 crusts. And I times that recipe by 5, and that's what I'm going to show you to do. We're going to need 15 cups of pie pastry flour instead of all-purpose flour. It just has a little less protein in it, and it makes a lighter crust. So we're just going to measure out 15 cups. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. All right. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of salt, then 1/2 tablespoon of salt, or 7.5 teaspoons. 5 whole cups and 1/2 cup of shortening, along with 2 tablespoons of shortening. This is 10 tablespoons of shortening, or 1,075 grams of shortening if you want to measure it that way. 1 cup. Now we have our 2nd cup of shortening, and you could do this half shortening and half butter and be alright, or if you use lard, I would probably use another less cup of lard, so that would be 4 cups of lard plus a 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons instead of the 5. 4. Alright, and this is the last of it, 5. Now if you can't use a pastry blender to cut all this shortening in this big bowl because of your strength, you could probably do this in the food processor one batch at a time and just do it that way. I'm just trying to save time by doing it all at once. So I'm just going to take my pastry cutter and just put it into crumbs. And this is where you take your frustration out, anything that might be bothering you. And just, I don't know, let your mind go, I guess, and blend it together. I think this pastry crumble stuff will be good for at least 3 months in the freezer. At room temperature might be good a month. But with the holidays coming up, we're going to get ready. And all the quilting retreats I'm going to. One lady said she wanted me to make her pie. We're going to make sure she's happy. And don't feel bad if you have to take breaks because your hand's cramping. Now when the church used to have bake sales, we would have 6 of us get together, and one lady was in charge of mixing up the crumbs just to, so for the 6 of us that was rolling out pie shells, it would be a group effort, and we would get enough pie shells made up for 120 pies, and we would divide them up into counts of 10, and each lady would take 10 pies home, pie crusts home to bake pies in. And it only take us 3 hours. We'd put a kitchen table up on bed risers, and so we wouldn't hurt our backs. I thought it was a nice time to get some fellowship in and raise money for our school. I think it's almost good. and you want it to be crumbly. Alright, we're going to clean this off and bag it up. So we're going to take our gallon-sized plastic bag and write pie pastry and today's date, which is 4/4/25. And we'll just somehow do this the best messiest way, I believe, and just spin it into our gallon-sized bag. Now you don't have to times this recipe by 5. If you just want to do 1 or 2 pies, I would just do that recipe once. But I think if this is pre-frozen, I might make more pies. Even savory pies. Just add a little bit more black pepper. Alright, time for the freezer. You want to make sure to get your air out. So it's been about 10 days since we've had this made and put in the freezer. So we're going to make a pie now before Easter. So we're going to take our measuring cup and do 1 heaping cup plus maybe another half cup. And we're going to just throw some water in it. And we're going to take our fingers and mix it together until it comes together. And if it's not moist enough, you can add more water. And if it's too wet, you can always add a little bit more pie crust mixture. Boy, this is cold. I think, what do we need? A little bit more water. Not too much. And you don't want to overwork it. That'll make your dough tough. And you want to put it together. To roll out the pie crust, I'm using a retired baker's mat from Pampered Chef. I find it being ideal just because it's not too big and bulky. First, we're just going to put a little bit of flour on the mat. Then we don't even have to chill our dough since it's been in the freezer for so long. And we're just going to maybe flour the rolling pin a little bit and start to roll it out. And once it falls apart, you just patch it up. That is the beauty of making a pie crust. It's like pie dough. We're going to add a little bit more flour. I think that looks good. Then we'll bring our pie plate over and peel it from our mat and get it centered in the pie plate. and get it. Find some extra that rolled out here and patch up our holes. Beauty of pie crust, no one's going to know what happened between you rolling it out and getting it into the pie plate. So next we're going to take our thumb knuckle and press it into the corner. This will help if you blind bake it from not falling down over the sides and shrink. Then we're going to patch up the holes around the top here. And if it's hanging over the side, just cut that off and patch it somewhere else. And if you don't have enough, you can easily just make more pie crust and roll it out and use it in here. That's the beauty of having this pre-made. So I think I'm going to do that. Just make a little bit more, since this was a deep dish. This is why I make it easy. On myself. And if it sticks to your fingers, just rub your fingers back and forth. There, we can easily just patch up what was over the side. Because when I have flaky crust, I would like a big piece of it for my filling. So next we're going to work on our edging. And just fold it under itself. And take my finger and make a fluke. And just take your time with it. This is one of many designs you can do with your pie crust. Since the pie crust is chilled, we're going to take our fork and just prick the crust the whole way around and up and down the sides. This gets all your air bubbles out. I need to patch that back up. There we go. It helps it from falling down the sides as well. So next we're going to make an egg wash. Where we just beat the egg and we'll add a tablespoon of water. Then we're going to take our egg wash and our pastry brush. And you don't want a heavy coat, but you just want a shine. It will give it a more golden crust. And you don't want puddles in it. So you want to make sure that it gets... Then we'll bake this at 400 for 17 minutes. Then we'll let this completely cool before you put your filling in it. While the pie shell is cooling, I'm making a rich, creamy chocolate pudding filling because what's better than chocolate cream pie, may I ask? I brought this one to our weekly hand quilting group where we're working on a beautiful raffle quilt to raise money for quilts for local veterans. Our hostess husband, Mike, just happens to love chocolate cream pie, so I happily volunteered to bring dessert. And let me tell you, the ladies absolutely loved it. I'll be sharing a full video on how to make this whole pie soon, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. And Howard did get the last piece, and he said it was very good.